Hello, happy Thursday.
Hi.
Okay, so we're all excited about
A new setup, and here we are back to the old setup. Alicia is not at our co-host table. She is actually behind the camera today.
Hi.
We have been filming all morning, and funny story, one of our mics died. And so here I am. I'm not a very, very tech savvy person. Can't figure out what's going on. So I was able to get her mic'd up behind the camera with that mic.
Hopefully it's working.
Yes, please let us know if our levels are good with our mics, if her levels, if you can hear Alicia. So once again, you all are gonna be hearing a little bit of a floating person, like she's not over here by my side at the co-host table, but she is still behind my computer, hitting you all with the comments, coming back to you all. So obviously everybody is seeing us. I'm super excited about today's project. We are doing tie-dye with sublimation. This is something that was a pretty big craze back in the summer. It was a big TikTok trend. So we have decided to do this for you guys today. I am gonna be showing you one of the background that we're gonna be using is part of the Maker's Gonna Sublimate. It is the watercolor, and this is what we're gonna use to actually tie-dye our t-shirt with. And then this is one that is this cute little file.
Your last
Surprise!
round.
We just realized that our lights were off, and we've been filming all morning with them off.
It's okay, you guys.
Oh,
We're just making it over here.
Listen, yesterday was Alicia's first time filming organic videos, and honestly, as many times as I've been on lives, I feel like I'm good with lives. But when you get me behind a camera and try to film an organic video, for some reason, I absolutely lose it.
You really did good. She's just being hard on herself.
Anyway, but what we're gonna do, back to our little craft, we are going to take this. This is actually part of one of our cut files. I'm gonna show you how to download. You're gonna download the PNG and you're just gonna print it and mirror it. So you can actually use our cut files that we have as long as you download it as a PNG, which is awesome. So how many friends do we have crafting with us today?
Looks like we have 86 right now.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you all have
110 now.
It jumped up.
That's okay. So what happens when we go live, a lot of times it'll come down, the numbers will come down, and then it will go back up.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, drop me an emoji if you are excited to learn how to tie-dye with sublimation and not actually have to use like actual dye, which I can't say, like, I'm a big fan. I don't know about you, Alicia, but I'm a really big fan of like old school tie-dye.
Oh yeah, I'm a hippie at heart.
Oh yes, I love it. I love the process. I love coming up with the different ways you can do this. So this is a really cool way. The good part about this is a lot of times I've come to learn that not a lot of people know when you're doing the actual tie-dye about the soda ash. So a lot of times their dye ends up being a little more faded and it fades a little bit more over time. Mm-hmm. But the good thing with tie-dyeing with sublimation is it comes out this really pretty vibrant color and it doesn't fade at all. So actually, I forgot to flip my nifty little heat press on. And we're gonna keep our fingers crossed and hope it gets to 400 degrees by the time that I'm ready. So let's go ahead. Actually, let's talk about our sublimation course. So if you don't know what sublimation is a crafting process where you actually you can have sublimation printers, or you can take an inkjet printer and you can convert it into a sublimation printer. Now, please know that if you have used your printer as an inkjet printer before, you cannot change it out and then switch it over to a sublimation printer. It has to be one that has never had inkjet ink ran through it. Our favorites are going to be the Epson EcoTank system, because you actually fill that up. It comes not filled with ink, so once you get it, you can fill that up with sublimation ink. We've tried out a few different kinds. Starcraft right now is currently the one that we are using. So that, and you put that sublimation ink in there, and then you print the image on special sublimation paper. Now, when you look at this, it looks really super light. And I don't know, have you ever sublimated, Alicia?
No.
So Alicia has never sublimated, so she is new to the process. But could you imagine anything this light printed being very vibrant?
No.
Not at all.
No.
So it doesn't look like it would be vibrant. However, this is going to come out super pink and orange and yellow and really, really pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And that's the cool thing about sublimation. So what it does, once you print it with the sublimation ink onto sublimation paper, you then will heat it up, use a heat press. Now, the heat press, you cannot use a regular iron. You can use the Cricut EasyPress. That does work because it does get hot enough. But most what you do have to do it at a high temperature. Like, for example, today we are going to be doing it at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So Kristen asked, can someone tell me why you would I'm assuming sublimate. So why you would prefer sublimation over, like, let's just say HTV. Sublimation is going to, now you can sublimate, it's specifically designed to sublimate for like polyester, rayon, synthetic materials. There are ways that you can sublimate on cotton, but mainly it comes out super, super bright on a synthetic blend. The lower the cotton percentage in your garment, the better that it's going to come, like it's going to turn out, the brighter it's going to be. We've just ordered some new stuff to put on cotton shirts to test that out. We have not had a chance to test that out just yet. We have done a few. The ones we've done in the past has not worked, but we're really hoping that this new brand of like coating that you can put on cotton t-shirts will be great. So our sublimation printer is more expensive than inkjet. Some, like the Sawgrass, is going to be a little bit more expensive. Printers in general right now, unfortunately, are just generally more expensive because of COVID and everything else. They have been a little bit more expensive. But the ones that we use are actually inkjet printers. We have just converted them into sublimation printers. We do have a course if you are interested in sublimation. We do have a Maker's Gonna Sublimate course. You can grab that right now for 70% off. There is no code needed. We have pinned that message to the top if you are interested in sublimating. One thing that we do suggest you all do is, if you are thinking about it, or if you know, yes, I want to jump into sublimation, however, you have not, you've not bought your printer yet, but you know you want to start sublimating, we suggest you go ahead and get the course, because we walk you through the process and walk you through hand in hand and tell you the differences in all the other printers. We give you our suggestions on which printers we think are best, how to set your printers up for best quality. There are some printers where you have to change, like bringing down the cyan and moving up the magenta, or putting your black point heavier. I mean, there's a lot of different things with the different printers that you may have to change to get your best image quality. So make sure, if you are thinking about it, or you know, yes, sublimation is something that I want to do, like I said, getting that course first really could save you a lot of time and headache in the long run than going and buying something and then realizing, hey, that's not really what's best. One other thing, a lot of people go ahead and get the 8.5 by, I think you can actually, it's an 8.5 by 11 printer, but I think you can print 8.5 by 13, or you can print 8.5 by 13. They'll get that and then they'll realize, man, like I really wish I would have gotten something where I can print larger images. So they do have the Epson Workforce printers, which is another one that we have, that will print like this size is 13 by 19. So once again, it's all a personal preference. If you don't plan on using like very large images, you can get the smaller one, but we do have a lot of friends. I just saw, Michael said, I just got the larger Eco Tank. So a lot of people that have come to us have said, yes, I bought the small one first, realized, you know, I really wish I could print larger images, and then end up going and buying the big one. So
I'm seeing a lot of people asking about the heat press link. As soon as the live's over, we'll fix it.
Yes. So as soon as, I'm sorry, I will apologize. The heat press link is not working. I don't even know. I really like this StarCraft has been they've not been having them in stock here recently. But I will have someone in our customer service team look at that and get that fixed. But we will get that fixed for you all after the live. So yeah, I guess we will just go ahead and jump into sublimation, our tie-dye sublimation. So if we could just go ahead and go overhead. So I have already pre-printed these out and actually pre-cut this out. This was printed on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and that might be, let's go ahead and let's jump over to our share screen now that I think about it. I'm going to show you all how you can actually take one of our cut files and you can print it to and use it as a sublimation. So just because it's not specified to be a sublimation file, you can use it as a sublimation file. So the one that we're using today, if you are a Makers Gonna Learn member, you will just you'll log in, click on your cut files right here, and then I've just searched sunrise because the one we're doing says sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't hardly say that without singing the song. Like that's really what I want to do, is I just want to sing that song. So from there, you are going to go down here. We are going to download this, open it up here, open up this folder, and you can see there is a PNG as well as an SVG. So we're not going to open up that SVG. We're going to open up the PNG portion of this, and then boom, it comes up right here. Now, remember, we are sublimating on a t-shirt. So really everything that you sublimate will need to be mirrored. You will go up here to tools. Now we are on a mini Mac, so it's kind of like half Windows, half Mac. It's kind of really weird. And you are just going to flip horizontal, and that will mirror your image. From there, you are going to click either Command P, the Windows key P, and it's going to bring up your print settings. So we would be, if I did not already have this pre-printed, I would be printing this on, I would choose my printer here. My presets, I'm going to photo on matte paper, because when you print on this sublimation printer, it is a matte paper.
So is it like a special sublimation paper?
It is a special sublimation paper. Okay. So that's what's going to give you your best quality image. We have already set all of our presets to print best quality, so it doesn't come up on here. But when you are sublimating, that paper is going to give you a more crisp, clear image and a lot more vibrant. Okay. So our paper size is just an 8.5 by 11 for this one specifically. Now, if I was printing a 13 by 19, I would go here, and I don't think there's not necessarily a, yeah. So this is our 13 by 19 setting, but you can go to custom sizes as well, and you can add in, you can just put in here 13 by 19, which is actually what I did the first time that I printed on 13 by 19. Renee, I'm not in a specific program. All I have done was I have downloaded this file from our website as a PNG file, and then I flipped it horizontally and then printed it. So I'm not in a specific program. This is just our computer. So you can set the 13 by 19 here if you want to in your default settings or in your custom settings. That was for mug. We're just, like I said, this one is just we're just printing 8.5 by 11. Now I did click borderless because I wanted to get the whole page if possible. You don't have to click borderless. You can click there. You can click fill entire page, print entire image. I would probably leave it on print entire image just because that end looked like it was cutting it off. And then from there, you would click, like I said, we already have this set to print best image. If it gives you the option to print best image, you're always going to print best image, and then you're going to click print. And that's as easy as it gets. So we are going to cancel this. Now, the actual watercolor that we have comes in our sublimation course. So if you have bought our sublimation course, or if you have not, if you're not a member, but you still purchase the course, you don't have to be a member to get that course. However, you will not have access to the sunrise, sunburn, sunset, repeat file. But you will go here under your Maker's Gonna Sublimate course. There is, in this first, Welcome to Maker's Gonna Sublimate, underneath here. Your designs are all gonna be here. You will download it, unzip it, and then we have already, and I'll show you where you can find it. Let me go down here. We've downloaded so many different things. I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Maker's Gonna Sublimate. Here it is. Unzip this. It will expand it. You'll come down here. See, we've downloaded it. Open this folder. This is going to be under your patterns. And your pattern is the water color. The sublimation pattern watercolor is the one that we are using today. Yes, Betsy, we are very proud of our sublimation course, but yearly membership is really, really what we are extremely proud of. So as far as using an actual program, we're not today. Really, today is very, very heavy on the craft technique and not as heavy on different programs that we're using. And I think that's why I'm really excited about this, is because it's more crafting and less, it's not as heavy on like design space and stuff. And really, like, that's where my heart is. My heart is in crafting. I mean, and I know along with that comes your design space and things like that.
And if people want to do their own design, they can go into Design Space, and as long as you're saving your file as a PNG, you can still print it and put it onto.
Yes, so a lot of what we use, really not so much Design Space. When we do a lot of our sublimation stuff, we do it in Canva. We do it in Inkscape, which is a free program. If we are doing anything else, like we do a lot of that, not so much in Design Space. We print it from the PNG file, or if we are merging things together, we'll do Canva or Inkscape. Can I still download the watercolor if I'm a Maker's Gonna Learn member? No, the watercolor is specifically for the Maker's Gonna Sublimate course. It is, and Lynn, Sadie just dropped that Maker's Gonna Sublimate link for you if you would like to join the sublimation program. So go ahead and we're gonna go overhead if we're not already. First thing we are going to do is after I printed this, I cut out the edges, and then I am going to use butcher's paper, and I'm going to cut the same size butcher's paper as this image. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, the first time I did this, I used one layer of butcher's paper, which is fine. Like, I think it would have been okay. And actually, Alicia, if you want to run out there and grab that shirt, grab both of those shirts. I told you earlier that I didn't need them, but I really think I would like to show them the difference. So cut out one layer of butcher paper, and then we're going to take it again and we're going to cut out a second layer, and you'll see why here in just a few minutes. Kristen, no, we are not in Design Space. We're really not in any program today. We have downloaded one of our cut files as a PNG, and then printed it to our Sublimation printer, and then we also downloaded one of the patterns from our Sublimation course, and also printed it to our Sublimation printer on a 13 by 19 page.
Kevin and Penny LCT says, I'm planning to buy a 15 by 15 swing away heat press. I'd like one that has suction feet. Do y'all have suggestions?
Actually, this one that we have has suction feet as well. The swing away, I think we have, and the only reason this one, the one that we are using, hasn't been in stock for quite some time. But so when we have given away heat presses, we have given away the swing away heat presses, but I could not tell you the exact name brand for the life of me. What's the poly on the shirt? So the poly on this shirt, this is 100% poly. The shirt that we're using today is 100% poly.
And they're so soft. I love those t-shirts.
So here is, finished product that Courtney had done. Also, something else I forgot. Do you care to go grab me the lint roller?
Oh, yeah.
So, real quick, while I've got this laid out here, if you all can see, and I may hold it up. Do you see these little like blue dots? Is that in focus? Can they see that? So we thought there was something wrong with our heat press for the longest time. Come to find out, we were having, which we tell you guys, lint roll, lint roll, lint roll. However, it's one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of thing, because we had kind of forgot to lint roll. It is so important that you lint roll, because there are tiny particles on this material that we don't see with our naked eye that will turn your shirts, get those blue spots. So making sure that you lint roll and get all of that off is very, very important. Dust particles, other little particles, so it's very important that you lint roll your shirts. This is a Gildan Performance shirt. It is a 100% polyester shirt. Nicole says, I have a swing away, but I want to get a clamshell. They allow for much more clearance with items like pillows and such. Yeah, I mean, we really love our clamshell. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do if the clamshells aren't in stock. There are some really good clamshells on Amazon, though. You can find some good ones on Amazon. So what I was saying, the reason that we are doing 2 pieces of butcher's paper instead of 1 is because yesterday I was kind of playing around and practicing. And this is what happens when I did the 1. So this is where I wanted my design. However, you can see what happened. And I think it's because, and there's another hack for this that I'm gonna show you. So on my first one, I just did 1 piece. I thought I taped it down really well. I did my twist because I'm a big sucker for a twist tie-dye. I do like my center twist tie-dye. I pressed it, and then it is I got it out and I was like, wow. But then I thought, when you sublimate, you know, this ink turns into gas and then adheres to these fibers. So of course, like I had holes in my paper. That's why I really think that's why it got under there. Now, the next one, disregard the color, please. Because this color is supposed to be the color that's on the front. But y'all, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot our printer. I'm gonna have to clean our print heads. I'm gonna have to do something because this is not the color I wanted. But I used 2 pieces of butcher paper here, and I just have a little bit of bleed through right here, and it did so much better with the 2 pieces of butcher paper. So after you lint roll very, very well, you are going to take your 2 pieces of butcher's paper. You are going to decide where you want your design, if you want it more down to the bottom, top. We're gonna do ours about right here. And then you're gonna lay your 2 pieces of butcher's paper down. You're gonna get your heat resistant tape, and you are going to absolutely tape every single inch of this. So yes, for this you are gonna use a lot of tape because you need to tape all around the edges. That way there is nothing getting in there. And that I really think is what helped not get that color underneath this. Now, if you like, it's kind of one of those, it's a personal preference. Do I think this looks absolutely terrible right here? No, because I think it looks more like a true tie-dye t-shirt. But if you want to really have this image, this center image, be like stand out, then you're not looking for this. Can we join the course at any time, or does it have to be during the live event? No, you can join our course whenever. It does not have to be right now. If you want to wait until next payday, you can always go back and click that link and join whenever you want to. It is not something that has to be done right now. We just want to tell you about it while we are here sublimating.
Penny, we were talking about the different heat presses earlier. She's wanting
to swing away.
Yeah, she's talking about sublimating on different wood items.
Yeah.
Is that why would she need a swing away for that?
So if you are wanting to, like if your items will not fit under a clamshell, then a swing away would probably. And did you know that? So backstory for you guys, Alicia is a woodworker from way back. Mm-hmm. Like this girl does some amazing things with wood.
Thanks.
Did you know you can sublimate on wood?
Well, I had an idea, but I've never done it before. I've never even done any sublimation, but now I'm thinking I should. I feel like I should start.
Listen, sublimation on wood, it's crazy.
So you can do like a whole picture, like I could print off a picture and put it on there, or I can do like a cute little word sign.
Yes, so we actually did sublimation on wooden blocks back around Christmas, and it was like we did like 6 different wooden blocks, and we did a 4x6 picture sublimated on the wood.
Oh, that's
so it was
cute.
like a little puzzle.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. That is so cute.
How long will the special pricing be on for? As of right now, I don't think Tanner has a set date on the special pricing. I would tell your friends, get it as soon as possible, obviously. But yeah, I've not heard a date yet on the specific pricing. So, literal, y'all, tape all the way around this because that will give you your best chance of not having it bleed through right here. What other questions do we have?
I think we've hit most of them. I don't think we've missed any questions.
Awesome.
So far.
Didn't know y'all were live. Okay, so once I have got this taped down, we are going to, because Y'all, like I said, I'm a big sucker for a twist tie-dye. You can do this however you want. If you want to come in here and just bunch it up and put it in your clamshell or in your heat press, you can do that. That is fine. You can bunch it up here, bunch it up there, so you have, you know, more. As long as it fits on your heat press, that's all that matters. I'm gonna take mine and kind of twist around a little bit. Now with this butcher paper, it's going to be harder to twist, but then I'm just gonna take this, move it around here, and then you're gonna pick it up and we'll go on over here to the heat press.
Could you tie that? I'm just curious. I know you can't use rubber bands like you would in a normal tie-dye. You would rubber band it. Could you like tie maybe like a jute twine or something to hold it in its place, or is that going to mess up your design?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could tie it if you wanted to, but I think with this, as long as you're putting it down here, see, I'm putting it here, and I'm just going to kind of move it. And I'm gonna move around to this side too. Move this around in that swirl design.
Yeah.
I think it's
gonna stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as it fits. See, I'm gonna move this, actually, the bottom was kind of pushed under. Move it to where it fits a little bit more. And y'all, when you're doing this, please be careful because this top plate is very hot.
Jenny is asking, will the tape bleed through to the design?
No, so this heat resistant tape will not bleed through to the design, or it should not.
And if
I've never had issues of it.
I believe if it does, because I've seen other people talk about this, if it does, usually one wash will get the tape, if there's like a little bit of the color of the tape on there,
Yeah.
you can wash it out with the first
Okay.
wash.
So then we're gonna take our 13 by 19 page. We are going to place it over the top. We are going to get more butcher's paper because y'all are gonna see why here in a minute. You cannot forget your butcher's paper. And then we are going to press. And we are pressing this at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So if y'all have any questions, now is a good time to drop them. We have we have a minute where we can answer any of y'all's questions. What did
says this
Joanne?
is such a fun idea. I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, so like I said, this was one, Courtney had seen it and she was like, we've got to do this. So we figured out the best way how. The good thing about using the 13 by 19 paper that I like with this is you all will be able to see when I open this up, if there are places on your shirt that is left blank, you still have, see like this paper is sticking out over here on the side, you still have some of that ink on the paper left that you can kind of like use to like press a little bit here, press a little bit there. Whew.
Kristen's asking how long does it take to press? Just 60 seconds.
Yeah, so we pressed 400 degrees for 60 seconds.
Ooh.
And then,
oh, I already love it.
da 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 da.
Yay, that turned out really good. The colors are perfect. That's like the best one.
I know.
That's the best one you've done. That's so cute.
So like if you wanted to, so right here, we're gonna go ahead and pull this up. Oh, it still transferred a little bit.
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
It's fine.
Okay, so here's my thing. I really think when I twisted it around like that this tape come up.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's where that tape comes up.
It's allowing that gas in there.
Yeah, it's letting that gas in there. So I bet you could just lay that flat, leave it flat, and then move everything else around it.
Yeah.
And so this is why we use our butcher's paper. See how this ink, are we overhead or on number one? Overhead. Okay. You see how this ink right here has transferred from this paper onto the sides? That's why we're always using our butcher paper so that does not get onto any other project that we do. One other thing you could do is you could, if you wanted to, like take a little corner of this, which we're gonna press this again with our design in the middle. We could take a little corner of this and like cut this off and like lay it here if you don't like that white design. If that doesn't bother you, then I would just leave it. So our next thing we're gonna do, we're going to place our image that we want right here in the middle. Now it is gonna get, it's a little bit.
Tracy is asking, why don't we just do the middle part first?
So if you did the middle part first, I would be afraid that it would, I mean, you could, but I like leaving the white. That way I know exactly where I'm gonna put it, and I know I can see, okay, this is, if this gets too dark, then this is not gonna show up. You know what I mean? So if you did the middle part first and then you did your design, there's a chance that there's gonna be more ink get on top of your design and then mess it up.
Yeah, or if you were doing like contrasting colors, I feel like you could have just done the shirt in the heat press, tie-dyed it without putting that first butcher paper on it, without taping it down, and then went back in and did a design right on top of the tie-dye.
Yeah, so if you're doing like a really light color on the tie-dye and then like black design on top of it,
yeah,
you wouldn't necessarily have to use the butcher's paper.
Yeah, but this is like all orange and yellow and pink, so you want to...
Yeah, so we really wanted this to show through in the middle, and that's why we put that middle piece there. Now we'll tape this down. This is one you're not gonna have to tape all the way around this one. This is just, you're gonna tape it enough to hold it down in place because it is gonna be laying flat in our press.
Someone asked, Sean says, can you use Cricut pens and normal printer paper for the design also?
No, wait. I've never done that. I've heard of people using the infusible ink on the Cricut.
Yeah.
Personally, I have never used infusible ink because we've always just done sublimation here.
So maybe that's a project we can try.
I mean, it's one we can look into at least, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to, because I don't like this white spot, I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And it seems like most everything is kind of in a triangular design. I'm just going to add a little bit right here. We'll tape this down. And then, once again, more butcher paper. And I know you all we use a lot of butcher paper here, but this roll that we have had it for years. It was huge.
Someone was saying they used copy paper, just use regular copy paper under it, and they haven't had any issues.
Huh.
But I feel like the butcher paper, you're gonna have that roll forever. It's gonna last for a really long time. So
Yeah.
I feel like whatever you have on hand.
Okay.
Crafting.
Move this back under here. Make sure it lays flat.
Sean said he did the Cricut pens and normal printer paper on a sublimation coaster, and the results are impressive.
Wow, I would like to see that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm
now.
very curious now. And then butcher's paper over top, because once again, if you don't put this butcher's paper, this is going to, that ink, I'm afraid, will reactivate and then get on your heat press, and we definitely don't need that. So I'm actually gonna even push that corner of that down a little bit. And then we are pressing once again, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Let's see, does anybody, how many friends do we have with us now?
Looks like 183.
Awesome. That's a pretty good, so what are y'all doing on this Friday Eve? Like, I am so excited for the weekend. I don't know about you girls, but like this week, we have had such a good time crafting together. We've got a lot done.
Surprisingly, I feel.
But I also feel like it's been a long week. It's your Friday, though.
It's my Friday, and it was my first week.
Yes.
Like, period. So it's been crazy. It's been fun though. We've learned a lot.
We have.
Like I feel like I've learned a lot this week. I'm learning right now. I'm
I
learning.
know. I'm so I've been so excited to teach Alicia different things, different Cricut hacks and things like that. We've had a good time. We've had good times. And then we're gonna pull this out. We'll go back overhead.
It's 6 a.m. in Australia right now, in case anybody was wondering. Tracy let us know. That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad that you are here.
Rise and craft.
Right? And then we'll take this tape off. And look how cute.
That is fresh. I love that.
I love it.
And your little triangle looks
It even looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of wish that I would have like cut that edge
Pulled
off
it
a
to
little
the edge.
bit.
That's okay. It looks good still.
It's fine.
You can't
It
tell.
works.
I love
I just thought it needed something here.
Yeah.
And not just empty space.
That triangle the color's a lot, like it's really saturated. I wonder why it's more than the other.
Because I bet it's because had more of a direct press than these did. So that's why it is more saturated.
Okay.
Thank you, Design Bundles. We are super excited about this shirt. The only thing is, I don't know if y'all can see. So look right here. There are a couple little blue spots, and I really, really think that this is where I didn't lint roll it a second time because it was not there the first time. Yeah. So it's important, like that. It's crazy that did that, although I lint rolled it very, very well the first time. But there's just, I guess, just probably particles where we've crafted and done a bunch of stuff on this table. So I would lint roll every time before you sublimate. Yeah. Ginger, yes, I will be doing silhouette videos. That is in the works. I actually started working on the course this week, and I really thought that I would have it done by the end of the week and hopefully start filming within the next couple weeks. But after Tanner and Courtney got put in quarantine, and I kind of, like, it was Monday night. Tanner, are we overhead or are we in the front?
We are overhead.
Let's go to the first camera. So it was crazy. On Monday night, Tanner called and he was like, so you're gonna be interim director for the week? I'm like, what? No, okay. So my week has looked a little different than I anticipated, which it's been phenomenal. But yes, we are gonna be coming out with courses on silhouette. I have been really, really diving deep into, which like many of you all know, I was a silhouette user before Cricut. So I have been really doing a deep dive into comparison between Cricut, silhouette, all that stuff. And that will be coming to our members. Hopefully we are shooting, I don't wanna say by the end of February per se, maybe March, it might be earlier. It will be end of this first quarter, for sure be in the first quarter that those come out. But so be on the lookout. That will be for our members. If you are a yearly member, that will be there as a free thing for you. Tracy, it is so annoying to have to remember to lint roll every single time. Like, as you can tell, it was anyway. But yeah, now this is something, if I was personally, we're not gonna do it just for the sake of time, but if it was up to me, like I would do the back of this shirt as well. Yeah. Just to make it look full and complete. Yeah. But yes.
Sean's asking where to send photos, but I guess if you're a member and you're part of the Facebook group, you can post them there.
Oh, he is not a member, unfortunately. If you're not a member, you can post them in the comments once this live is over. Just post us a comment here if you're not a member. I'll try to come back and make sure to look at that because I'm really, really intrigued. should I go with Maker's Gonna Learn yearly member yearly or Cricut yearly? So obviously here at Maker's Gonna Learn, we're gonna tell you to go Maker's Gonna Learn yearly, because really and truly, the stuff that we bring you all, the cut files you get with our membership, you get access to hundreds of cut files, fonts, all of that good stuff. But not only do you get that, but once you download our cut files, you all get that and you keep that forever. So let's say you become a yearly member today, and you realize 9-10 months down the road, you know, I'm not going to renew. I've decided, you know, this is not really for me. That's okay. We understand that. We love to keep you as a member, but if it comes to that point and you say, yes, yearly is not for me, but you've downloaded, let's say 300 cut files, those cut files are yours, whether you are a member or not. They are yours to keep. We also give you commercial licenses with our cut files and fonts, so you can make things to sell. So a lot of our members craft and make things and then turn around and sell them, and that pays for their yearly membership. So that is the awesome thing about us that kind of sets us apart. We do come out with new cut files and fonts every month. We come out with different things for you all to do. We have tutorials, member-only videos, all kinds of different things that Cricut does not offer. So can I still enter the Sublimation group? Yes, you can. That link is pinned to the top. If you still want to join our Sublimation course, it is there. Sadie is dropping it again. Make sure you grab that. The course file, it is everything that we have in the course is awesome. Let me open up here. So if you go over to our shared screen, right here is just a quick preview of everything that all of the different lessons that we have. There is a book that you can download and we walk you step by step. The files are here, designs. So it is if you are going to get into sublimation, it is very worth it to join our sublimation course. Someone said, let's go back to one.
He's asking how they can check if they're still a member.
How can I check if you are still a member? Try to log on. If you have not canceled your membership, then you are still a member. You actually have to physically go in and cancel your membership. And that's how other than that, it just automatically renews and you stay a member. I would suggest, Maker's Gonna Learn what you get. Okay, yeah, so Mommy Cares is telling Casey she suggests the yearly membership. She's still not gone through. Listen, I work for Maker's Gonna Learn, and I still have not gone through every single cut file we have. There are so many. Not only do you get access to all of this stuff, but we have a private Facebook group, and I tell everybody, like, that private Facebook group is almost like worth our yearly membership price, because the camaraderie and the support and the helpful tips that that we share with each other is worth it. Like, my Facebook now consists of Maker's Gonna Learn stuff, and I love it. Like, it's all the time. People share what they've done, their awesome crafts that they've done. They share ideas. So it's really just a good place to be.
Barbara Dryden is asking, can a very light pink all poly t-shirt be used for this type of project?
I mean, you can try it. It's not gonna hurt. I don't think your colors are gonna be as vibrant with the light pink, but it's still going to, it would still work. It's just not going to be as bright. Mm-hmm. And if you do decide to, one thing a lot of people are doing are the bleach dye t-shirts, which are great, but with this, with sublimation, if you are gonna do the bleach dye, I want to remind everybody, make sure you get a heathered shirt, because when you bleach the heathered shirt, that makes all the difference, since we are talking about the different colors for sublimation. Linda says the yearly membership is so very worth the investment. Cricut Access doesn't do very much in education. I do have both and will cancel Cricut Access soon. There you go. And one of the things somebody did say, the big drawback to Cricut is if you ever quit the membership, you lose all of the files you've been working with that are with Access. So, I mean, there are different things with Access that are pretty neat. But as far as like, you lose everything you've worked with that is with Access. I mean, it's just.
I feel like that's the biggest perk for the Makers Gonna Learn program, is because you're able to keep those files and use them like
forever.
Forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with our sublimation course. You purchase this course one time, you have those files forever. It is not a yearly thing. It is a one-time purchase. And you get all of we have Tumblr templates. We have all kinds of different alphabets that you can do. You can't just sublimate what we have in there. Obviously, we use this cut file. This was part of the yearly. We used it, we just downloaded it as a PNG and printed it. Have y'all ever had issues with sublimating black ink? I've ruined 5 tumblers because my black overcooks so fast it turns brown. I've tried different times and temps in the convection oven. That's a good question. And Hillary, I did see that on our Facebook page, but I didn't respond because I honestly, personally, don't have enough experience with the black ink on a tumbler, but that is something that we will look into and maybe get in touch with you and try to figure that out, because you're saying it's overcooked so fast. So we will work on that and see what we can figure out for you.
Look what Penny said. So we just did a video on that, sort of, right?
Yes. So Penny says, are there places other than Cricut that you can use the fonts to write with filled in? That is the main reason I keep Cricut Access. I use the writing features for cards many times a week. So Penny, I was actually just filming a video earlier today teaching you all how to fill in with one of the Makers Gonna Learn fonts. That will probably be coming out. I don't know 100% when it is coming out, but there is actually a Makers Gonna Learn cut file that you can download. It's the lines cut file and fill in a Makers Gonna Learn font. And I'll go into a lot more detail with that video. It's gonna be an organic video, it's not a live, where I walk you step by step in that process. So, okay. If no one else has any more questions, I have had such a good time crafting here with you guys today. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing weekend. We will not be going live tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure on our live schedule next week, but I'm sure that we will be back in here crafting. I know we will be back in here. I know we will be back in here crafting with you all again. Once again, I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing weekend, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.